Who knew a live-action Lilo and Stitch remake would take these Disney fans and turn them even more rabid than before? Y'all, you need to calm down a little bit. Hello Flickering Myth family and welcome to our channel. My name is EJ and yes, I happen to be one of those people who like the live action Lilo and Stitch remake. Do I think this movie's perfect? No. But do I think the original movie's perfect? Not at all. There is some nostalgia attached to this film that I had no idea what was there. We're going to be breaking down the reaction people are having. I'm going to give my own feelings because I haven't even reviewed the film yet before I've been bombarded with so much negativity about people's own other feelings. Like, y'all, everyone is allowed to like what they want to like. Calm down. Yes, we're going to get into the craziness that is, I cannot believe I'm going to say this, the live action Lilo and Stitch remake. This week I was able to see the live action Lilo and Stitch remake. My review would have came out a bit earlier, but I have been completely sick. If you would have seen my Mission Impossible review, my voice was gone. It is barely back now, but it is a Sunday morning and I have to just go, what are we doing? What is going on? Why are we so heated over this Lilo and Stitch remake? I understand Disney has always had some kind of pushback to adapting their once classic animated films to this live action format. It has not gone over well, and to be honest, the reactions or the results to these live action remakes have been hit or miss. Like, I thought Beauty and the Beast was fine. I thought Mulan was okay, but then there's been god awful ones. Do you remember Pinocchio? Remember Lady and the Tramp? There has been some really low tier entries into this, and people are trying to put this Lilo and Stitch remake into that category, and I'm a bit confused because I thought it was honestly pretty adorable. Yes, there is changes to the story, and we'll get into the epic finale of this that is completely reworked, and I actually kind of like it, but I don't know if I've seen a vitriol as much as I've seen with this Lilo and Stitch remake, which then also makes me realize I guess people held this closely, held this more personally than I thought Lilo and Stitch was. Yes, I know they had the animated series and the sequel films and all that, but my goodness, there are some die-hard Lilo and Stitch people. Maybe this movie came out when I was just a little out of my Disney phase. I was about 11, 12, so I wasn't really into Disney movies as much as I was a bit younger. So this isn't one I hold precious to me, but I can still understand when people are hesitant about things getting reworked. Like, I'm a big Buffy fan. I am preparing myself for the Buffy remake, reboot, sequel series that they're doing. Like, I understand being hesitant, but I thought this Lilo and Stitch remake was well thought out, well made, well paced, well acted. It hit a lot of the notes that I thought it needed to hit. Now, again, there is some changes to the story, to some of the, they're leaving out some characters that people, I guess, really wanted. That bounty hunter at the end of the movie, who I thought was tedious and an extra layer of Disney mayhem. Sure, great. I liked Jumba as the other villain. We'll get into things in a second. But truly, I was just I got out of this movie and I'm like, cute, fun, sweet, earnest. It hit so many things that I was warmed by. And again, I think it's because I'm a parent now, so seeing Lilo's conversations about feeling like a bad kid, feeling like she doesn't have a place, and then the state threatening to take them, I'm like, this movie hits really hard and really honest, and I really like that. I think switching Lilo, she is a bit more destructive and chaotic in this movie, but I honestly thought that was such a relatable character, and her bond with Stitch I loved even more in this version. I loved Nani. I love that they gave her goals. She wasn't just going to be a sister, because my goodness, guys, she's not a good parent. I don't know where that got lost in translation in the Lilo and Stitch verse, but she literally is not a good parent. I'm sorry, she's a great sister. She wants to be a good person for her sister, but I don't think this was always going to be her life. So to me, you're damning her to just forever take care of her sister until she's, what, her Lilo's an adult, so then Nani can have her own life. Like, why are we giving her the teen parent storyline? That is not fair for this character. Again, I'm gonna get into it all, but yeah, there were so many changes that I thought just worked. I loved the tone, the feeling. I thought it was cute. I thought it was vacation-y. Yes, they took out the anti-tourism stuff, which definitely is a big part of why Lilo and Stitch worked, but I don't know, Disney gotta sell resorts. Like, are we really shocked that this movie doesn't focus on how bad tourism is when I live in Florida and I see what tourism does to the state? Yeah, I I don't know. I don't know. I guess I don't have the passion for the original Lilo and Stitch, so none of these changes to me are offensive or really taking out the core of the story. Tourism a little bit, just slightly, but a lot of people don't even pick that up. There are so many people who saw the original Lilo and Stitch movie and never understood the anti-colonialism, the anti-tourism messaging throughout it. There's people who just watched it and thought it was a cute animated movie like I did. I guess I just am I'm confused and shocked by the negative reaction, but I do appreciate that people really do like the Lilo and Stitch story because it is a good story, and that's what I really like about this version. It works. This story is so good that live action, a remake, a sequel series, any version of Lilo and Stitch you do, if you have this core story, it works for me, and this worked. So I've seen three major things people have been talking about with this movie about the negative reaction and getting so angry. Look, none of it's been Stitch. Stitch looks great. Stitch is well handled. Stitch's voice acting's cool. Yes, he is a bit more dog-like in here. I think they definitely lean into him being a dog a lot more here, but I don't know, it worked. I thought it was a cute gag. Him at the table barking and stuff, adorable. So people really do not like that Jamba is the villain. Is that his name? The big old one with Pleakley? Yeah, people don't like that he's the villain. He is the villain, or at least an antagonist for most of Lilo and Stitch. Where were y'all confused that he was this, like, cute, lovable man? Like, up until the end of the movie, he is chasing and going after Lilo. He was a mad scientist. Why are we shocked that this guy is vaguely 10% more evil in this live-action version than the animated one? I'm sorry. Look, I'm more offended that Pleakley isn't in drag half the movie than I am with this character having more of an arc that feels true to what his character would be. He's a mad scientist that created an evil being. Yes, Stitch is an evil being. I'm sorry, I know he figures out his way and is much better, but my goodness, guys, this is a mad scientist who created a killing machine. Why are we shocked that he is a bit of a villain? And again, okay, so the other complaint is then we don't have that big old bounty hunter guy comes in. Okay. I don't know why I didn't need him. He's an extra layer to this story that just adds more to the final act of the animated movie. And I get that it works in animation, but I love the streamlined approach to this movie. They took out stuff that didn't work. They took out characters that I'm like, again, did we need massive bounty hunter dude to come in and yell? Like, no. No, we had Jumbo who's doing the same thing. Capturing him, gonna bring him back, but we also know that he is wanting to maybe use Stitch on his ownness. I thought that was great. What we're gonna do. Y'all really wanted this character that is just there to bring Stitch back to get killed? I just don't understand the attachment to characters that I'm like, that man's name is not Lilo and or Stitch. Why do we care so much? It's frustrating because, again, I think the final act works with just one villainous person. Pleakley is the one who kind of falls into the better category because he was a nice person. He loves Earth. He just wants to chill here. I will say Pleakley is still in the little crop tops and little flower shirts. He's not in drag, but he's gay. He's still at least a little queer. That's fine by me. But really, the thing that grinds people's gears the most about this movie is Nani having a life. She is wanting to be a marine biologist. She's a great student. She's also trying to raise her sister after their parents passed away. It is a hard life to be a parent and have your whole life dedicated to a child, and then you kind of realize, oh, I'm kind of done having a life, I guess. It is now to make this child, to make sure they have a good life. It is a complicated feeling. It's hard where you have to have your own self-death, your own ego death, because then your ego is put on to making sure that child does well. Nani wasn't a parent, that she didn't give birth to Lilo, so she got thrusted onto this. So the fact that the animated series never really gives her much motivation other than I just don't really want to have to be a parent all the time. I need to work. I need to do all this. We got to make sure Lilo stays in the house. That is a lot of stuff, but no real meat on her bones. Like she doesn't feel like a full character. Here they give her a slight motivation. She's a good student. She's also a former surfer, like, so she gets to be a surf instructor at one point. She also gets to realize that she wants to have a career. So what do we do with Lilo? Well, people keep on saying online, well, they give her up to the state. She goes to the next door neighbor who has been a friend like their entire life. She still lives in the same neighborhood. She lives right next door to where she used to live. It's not like we shipped Lilo off to the mainland. It's not like Lilo is now living in the middle of Wyoming, having to deal with Jeffree Star Farms or wherever's happening in Wyoming. Like, where are we upset about. Like, Nani gets to have her own life, still gets to go see her sister. Obviously, the whole end of the movie is that cute moment where they're all like cuddling together and just having a moment and bonding. They have portals they can transport. It's not like Nani just ditched Lilo and threw her with some random people. She's still living in her same environment, still getting to say, like, adapt her same culture, still getting to spend time with Stitch, still on the island. Where is the beef? Like, if you were one of those people who hate the ending of this movie, who thinks Nani just abandoned Lilo and left her alone, why do you feel that way? Where is that? Where did you get that? Because, I don't know, I thought Nani got to have her own life, gets to still get to keep her own. She's like a teenager. She's a young adult getting to then explore college and be something better for herself. That is awesome. Now, I will say, making Nani a marine biologist, could we have her had more interest in Stitch? Like, oh, a creature from another planet. Maybe I'm a scientist. I would like to relate to you a little bit better. That could have been perks. If you're going to make her a scientist, make her a scientist. Sure, I could have seen that maybe as a small little tweak to her character, but to have such vitriol to the end of this movie that they're like, Ohana means family. The family's still together. Where are y'all thinking this family is not together? It is still a big unit, but Nani just gets to have her own life now. Lilo gets to stay with her animal. She also wants her sister to do good and be on her own. Where are y'all getting so mad about? All right, everyone, that is it for my breakdown, my review, my feelings, my rant and ramblings about Lilo and Stitch and the reaction around this movie. I liked it. I had fun. This is a really easy review for me to make because it was good. I don't have much to say negative. I don't have much to say positive. It's good. I liked it. It's cute. Stitch was awesome. I want 45 of them running around my house. Period. That is all I had about this movie. So to, again, see this hatred, this negativity, it has blown my mind, where I had to get up on my phone and record this video as soon as I could on this Sunday morning because, wow, I cannot believe it. All right, guys, what did you think of my review? What do you guys think of the Lilo and Stitch movie and the reaction that it's had on social media? Are you shocked by it? Are you one of those people who think this movie is like a sin against humanity? Share your thoughts down in the comments below. Give us a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe to Flickering Myth for more videos just like this. All right, guys, let's talk about Lilo and Stitch right down below.